Hi everyone, today I'm going to walk you through how to use and interpret the findings from our Social Cohesion Compass. So if you're on our website homepage, the Social Cohesion Compass is located here under Tools. So the Social Cohesion Compass is a powerful tool that allows you to research social cohesion and democratic resilience at a local government area level. The first dashboard allows you to see a specific local government area's Scanlon Index and Democracy Index in 2024. It also shows you the age composition of that LGA, the proportion of those born overseas, and the top 5 countries of birth apart from Australia. There are also some headline statistics down the bottom underneath the map from the 2021 census. To use it, simply select the desired state first and then find the LGA you want to view. So for this example, let's go to Albury in New South Wales. Over here on the right-hand side, you can see the Scanlon Index score and the Democracy Index score for that LGA. So for this example, the Scanlon Index and Democracy Index in Albury. It also shows you the national average underneath those headline statistics. So here we can see that the Scanlon Index in Albury is 50.2, while the national average is 50.73. It also shows you the difference from the national average for both of these headline statistics. So in Albury, we can see that Albury's Scanlon Index is 0.99 points lower than the national average, but 0.95 points higher than the Democracy Index national average. We can also see that the top 5 countries of birth are England, India, New Zealand, Philippines, and Bhutan. It's important to note that it's difficult to assess whether these scores for the Scanlon Index and the Democracy Index are objectively high or low. These scores should always be interpreted in the context of the national averages and the range of scores across all the LGAs. There's some information about this just below the dashboard. Moving on to the next dashboard, here you can select 2 LGAs and compare their domain scores over time. So on this first page, we can see that we're comparing the LGAs of Albury in New South Wales and the LGA of Alpine in Victoria. Similar to the last dashboard, to change the LGA you're looking at, first select the state. So for this example, we'll go to Queensland and we will have a look at Brisbane to change the LGA. And it's the same on the comparison state side. So if we want to change to Albury on this side, we click New South Wales first, and then we select Albury. The LGA selected on the left-hand side panel, or the orange panel, will represent the LGA line on the graph, or the black line in this instance. The LGA selected on the right-hand side, or the black section, or the comparison LGA as it's titled, will represent the corresponding comparison LGA line on the graph. The national average is also visible. You can also hover over the data to see the scores for each LGA by year. So if we hover over this, in 2023, we can see that the LGA of Brisbane had a score of belonging of 56.97 and Albury had a score of belonging of 59.13. Again, to change and look at the other domains, simply scroll using the arrows down the bottom. So we can see here we have sense of worth, social inclusion and justice, participation, and acceptance and rejection. The final dashboard shows the relationship between participation and income, participation and education, and also the relationships between the Democracy Index and income and the Democracy Index and education. Each dot on the scatter plot represents an LGA in the selected state. So here we have the state of Victoria selected. To change the state, simply use the drop-down menu and select your desired state. You can also hover over each dot to get more information about it. So in the state of New South Wales, we can see that the LGA of Mossman has a median weekly household income of $1,977 and has a participation score of 37.34. To scroll through, use the arrows down the bottom. So here we can see participation and its relationship to education, and then we move on to the Democracy Index and its relationship to income and its relationship to education. So that's everything on the Social Cohesion Compass. We hope you like it and have fun exploring.